Hey, my friend, it is Adrian from Contact Mapping, and I want to talk to you today about something that might be a little bit of an uncomfortable subject for many of you. And if this is you, then you really want to listen. Because here's the thing, I spend almost all my waking hours thinking about relationships, thinking about how to be better in relationships myself and how to help you to get the most out of your network. And as I think about that, as I train on that, as I work through it, here's a fundamental truth that I see over and over again, not only in myself, but in pretty much everybody out there. And that is that at the end of the day, what are we all asking ourselves when it comes to just about any conversation, transaction, whatever it is? What at the end of the day is a question that always has to be answered for others and for yourself is, what's in it for me? Because the reality is that we all have a limited amount of hours in the day, a limited amount of resources, a limited amount of energy that we can put into any one thing. And so if we aren't intentional, if we don't have a good reason why we're doing something, and if we don't believe that it's worth our effort, our energy, and our time, we're not going to keep doing it. And so I think it's actually really important, even if you feel a little woozy or a little uncomfortable with asking the question, what's the return on investment in your relationships? It's a really important question to ask. And so here's how I want you to think about that question. You don't necessarily have to harvest that return of the investment that you're putting into your relationships, but knowing what that is and knowing what that looks like is really important. So here's what I mean by that, right? It can be really frustrating and annoying and exhausting if you're constantly spending your time just kind of you're kind of spread all over the place. You're constantly calling these people. You're constantly doing all this. You're going over and over and over again. And it just feels like you're putting all this effort and energy and time into networking or building relationships or whatever word you want to use to describe that, and you're never getting anything back. I think that's a big fear for many of us. That might be a big fear for you, and it might be a reality for you. And so here's what I want you to think about. It is essential that you start from the place of what's in it for the other person. It's essential that you get your agenda out of there. It's essential that you get genuinely curious in the other person, because if you can't generate from that place, you're going to have a real challenge ever being able to develop great relationships. But I just got done. We had an interview today with a woman named Barty Toto. She's a great trainer on relationships and on gratitude and on how to communication, how to develop better relationships. And what she talked about is the power of an ask. And I think this is so true, right? Whether or not you choose to make that ask is up to you. And when or whether you choose to make that ask is up to you. But if you are not developing a relationship that is powerful enough that I would feel comfortable asking you, hey, I do this. I would like you to take a look at it. I'd be interested in what you'd think about it. I think it could really help you in this way. If I never get to where I'm comfortable doing that, then there's one of two things happening. Either you're not really building a real relationship, and so there is no return on that investment because you didn't actually build the relationship to begin with, or I've got something going on in here that I don't have the right value that I am placing into what I do, such that I'm getting stuck. I've got resistance internally. And so if either of those things is true for you, then you need to examine which one of those is the case, and I would love to help you with that. But you can clear those two things out of the way. And so you're investing in those relationships, you're building relationships, but know that the barometer, the measure of your success at the end of the day should be, would I be comfortable? Have I built the kind of relationship that I could ask this person for something? And then it's up to you whether you choose to do that or not, right? I have plenty of friendships that I'm never going to ask for anything, but I know that I could. And I know that they would be there for me if I picked up the phone and I said, hey, I really need your help with something, or hey, I'd really like you to take a look at what I do. But if I never build that strength of relationship, then I kind of am wasting my time. And so I want you to get proactive and powerful in your relationships, and I want to help you to do that. And here's where I've got something that I think could really help you. So we have this thing called the Coffee Shop Interview, and it started as a Word document that my dad and co-founder Tom Chenault created many many years ago as a way to share how he develops relationships. And that evolved, and we have actually just released this as a Kindle book that you can go and grab a digital copy or even a paperback copy if you want. And it is already #1 new release in several categories. It is going nuts. And the reason it's going nuts is because so many people have been asking us to do this for so long. And what that ebook is about, what that paperback is about, this coffee shop interview, is showing you how to do what I'm talking about, how to build relationships that are powerful, that you can make an ask if you want to make an ask and reap that return on investment, or maybe you don't, and maybe the satisfaction of having real relationships is what you're after. Either one of those things is great, but we're going to show you how to do that. And so here's what I want you to do. I want you to go and grab the Coffee Shop Interview ebook. You're going to love it, and guess what? It's 99 cents. It is an incredible steal. It's a short read, and it is going to get you into action doing this. So I'll share the link right after this in the comments so you can go and grab that. But here's the other thing. If you're listening to this and there's somebody that you know needs to hear it, do me a huge favor if you would. Please tag them here in the comments so they can see it, or share it on your page or in a group. I would so appreciate that. And if you do that, let me know so I can make sure that I thank you. But it's great to have you here. Thank you so much. And I can't wait for you to get your hands on the Coffee Shop Interview. It's going to be awesome. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.